that's the chord I'm looking for. I'm gonna go back to Bouzouki to let you guys see the chords I'm thinking of. So, capo on 3, and then just 7 frets up from that is your usual tonic chord. In this case, let's bring up our reverse chord up to figure out what chords we're going to be using for this. Let's see, capo on 3, going down. Nice, so F, Dorian? That's very rare. Get used to the scale a wee bit. That might be nice sometimes. Okay, so that's the 7th fret from the very bottom here. So that chord, oh my goodness, C sharp, probably better thinking of it as either the C sharp major chord or D flat. For me, that is always got this sort of, the Kinks, you know, Lola, you know that. Okay, so that's the feel that I always get when I hear that, because it usually wants to go to there. And then, so that is our, you want to think of it as D flat or C sharp, whatever one works. And then you can think of this as A sharp, maybe D, and I think it's probably maybe B flat is a better way. I'm not sure what's the best way of thinking of that chord. And then up to F. Yeah, let's see the way that's, yeah, F5. That's our tonal center for this. That makes the most sense. So maybe thinking of that as F, go down 2 from F, and E flat. Yeah, it's a better way of thinking of it, I think, is like an E flat chord. E flat, B, E flat. And just like, you can play that F as your sus2, or just not play it at all. And just think of it as an E flat 5 chord. I'm thinking of it as an E flat 5 because I know that this is our F5 chord. So F going to E flat makes much more sense than F going to D sharp. You know, that's a bit of a mess, that analysis. A sharp sus4 over D sharp. Yikes. No. B flat sus4 over E flat. Not really. I'm not thinking this as an E flat chord. There's only one B flat. So it's better I go to the very last one. This is what's in my mind. E flat, yes. And then the suspended second is the F. It's just 2 above E flat. That's what the sus2 is there for. But I really only concentrate on the 4th course, 3rd course, and 2nd course. If I hit that the odd time, 1st course, doesn't matter. Because that's where we're going half the time anyway. So get used to that little progression. You're going to come across it very much in a lot of different tunes, in, you know, more sort of standard places to put the capo, like on 2 and on 7. This chord in those positions would be the same. You usually just move everything up 2 frets and then everything up 2 frets again, but just one finger. Okay, so that's our tonic. F. Let's try and work out some stuff. have something different for that third part. Da. Da, 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 da. It's going to be an interesting little one, this, because of that key change, so I might have to play through this a few times to find that particular progression. At the moment I've got something like... I've got to get back to that dum dum dum. It's going to be our main chord progression throughout this whole thing, is that da da dum.